Hey, Vikings, it's me again. Okay, man, what week is this? I do not know. Times are crazy, but I'm here and I am introducing a probability mini lesson for you. You're going to see a video today, you're going to see a video tomorrow, and then you are going to see an activity that you will have to complete by Friday, okay? So, probability, what is it? Let's get into some vocabulary, why don't we? Probability, it is basically the chance of an event occurring. What is the likelihood of something to happen? For example, I think weather is something we see in percents, I should say. So when you pull up the weather app on your phone or you go to WCPO.com, you're going to see that the chance of it raining is 30% chance. So those are essentially probabilities. When we flip a coin, what is the chance we land on a heads or a tails? This is all probability. We're going to see that today. So let's start with a little bit of review, because with probability, you will see it as a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. There are three different forms. The forms we will see the most are a fraction or a percent. Okay. So let's practice. 4/20ths, we want to write it as a fraction in simplest form. So 4/20ths. What you do to the top, you must do to the bottom, right? So simplest form, what goes into 4 and 20? Well, I know that the number 4 goes into both, so I'm going to divide both by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. There is our probability as a fraction in simplest form. You always want to reduce. Now, what is 1/5 as a decimal? Well, if you look or think back to when we converted fractions into decimal, the top number goes into the house and we're going to divide. 5 does not go into 1. Multiply, subtract, add your decimal, you raise it up. So I can stand. Okay, bring down your 0. 5 goes into 10 twice, you are finished. So 0.2, or as we say in math, 2/10. Lastly, a percent. Now remember, when we convert a percent to a decimal, or I'm sorry, a decimal to a percent, we just move our decimal twice or multiply by 100. So what is the percent? 20%. Cool. So that is one probability. If the probability was 4/20ths, that is one probability written in 3 different formats: your fraction, your decimal, and your percent. Okay, let's get going to the fun stuff. All right. There are 20 marbles in a bag. 7 of them are blue. If you pull one marble out, do you think it is likely that it will be blue? Okay, well, 7 are blue. That's 7 out of 20. Man, that's not even half, because half of the bag we know would be 10 marbles out of 20. So is it likely that it would be blue? I would say no, because it needs to be over that 50% mark. That's definitely not half the bag. If you flip a coin 20 times, how many times would you expect it to be heads? Well, think about a coin. I mean, you've got one side that is heads, and then you've got one side that is tails. I'm just going to draw a building because that's the tail side. So we've got heads and tails. It's a 1 out of 2 probability. That's 1/2. So if we flip a coin 20 times, what's half of 20? 10. I would expect to flip heads 10 out of 20 times, because then tails would also be 10 out of 20. Now, will that always happen? No. Think about your football games, your soccer games, when you have to decide who has kickoff, okay? It's not always going to land perfectly. So Johnny flipped a coin 20 times. He tossed heads 18 times. Why do you think this happened? Just like we said, a coin is not going to give you the perfect probability, but the chance of it being a head is 1 out of 2. Can we land on heads 18 out of 20 times? Absolutely. We could have landed on heads every single time. You never know. All right, let's move on. These are just some examples. I want you to understand what is probability. Here we go. This is a spinner, as we all know. It's got numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So let's start simple. What is the probability of the spinner landing on a 3? I'm going to highlight that 3. Well, there's only 1 3 out of how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the probability of the spinner landing on a 3 is 1 out of 6, or you can just say 1, 6. Okay? Let's do number 2. What is the probability of the spinner landing on a 1? Well, there's a 1 and another 1. So that's actually 2 1s out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers total. Now, is that in simplest form? No. Reduce. What goes into 2 and 6? A 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Moving on. What is the probability of the spinner landing on a 2? Well, there's only 1 2, so that's going to be the exact same probability as landing on a 3, just 1 out of 6. Are you more likely to spin an odd number or an even number? Well, let's highlight these. I know I've got my handy highlighter on here, but I'm going to highlight the odd numbers. So 1, 1, and 3. And I'm going to use a different color for my evens. I got 2, 4, and 4. There's 3 of each. So I'm pretty sure they have equal probabilities. Now, I can't really write a whole sentence on here with my finger. So are you more likely to spin an odd or an even number? They have equal probabilities. You are more likely to land on either, or word it however you would like. Okay, next, you got a new spinner. Red, blue, red, orange. What is the probability of the spinner landing on a red? 1, 2. Now that's 2 colors out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 2 fourths we all know is just 1/2. What is the probability of the spinner landing on an orange? Well, there's only 1 orange, so that's just 1 out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. What is the probability of the spinner landing on a primary color? Okay, this is in art class, seriously. So primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. I know this because I love art. So red, blue, red. That is 3 out of 4 colors. Okay. Mike said you have a 50-50 chance of spinning red. Explain what he means. Well, 50-50 means 50%. And 50% we know is 1/2. Is red on half of this spinner? Absolutely. We determined that up here. So what Mike means is you have a 50% chance of landing on red in this spinner. Next. Marbles. I feel like marbles are just a really popular example when it comes to probability. You're also going to see a deck of cards, a spinner, a number cube. We're going to see all of that today. Okay, so stay with me. Marbles pictured below are gray, white, and black. Now, I realized when I put this on here, this is a white. You can barely see them, but now we got them. Okay, here we go. Gray, white, and black. They are placed in a bag, and one is drawn at random. Which color marble is least likely to be drawn? So least means, least means that there is not a lot of them, that we're most likely not going to draw this color. I'm thinking that's going to be the black marble. There's only one of them out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see that? Okay. So next question. What is the probability of drawing the black marble from the bag? Well, we just said it. 1 out of 7 total marbles. What is the probability of drawing a gray marble? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And our total has not changed. The total marbles is still 7. What is the probability of drawing a white marble? Well, there is only 1, 2 white marbles, which means that's going to be 2 out of our total of 7. Now, I like to mark the marbles just to kind of help me determine how many there are and stay organized. Again, you don't have this worksheet in front of you, so I'm just showing you, if you did, what I would do. What is the probability of drawing a marble that is not white? I love these questions. They make us think a little bit more. So not white. Well, this is not white. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 out of 7. Could I also have just subtracted the 2 white? Yes, 7 minus 2 is 5. Are these all in simplest form? Yes, because 7 is a prime number. It cannot be reduced. Okay, deck of cards. You know, I think I'm going to make a separate video on this because I love playing with cards. I'm going to come back to this worksheet in my next video. Number cube. We're going to end with this. I love number cubes. So this is what we would call dice, or a dot. You roll a die. So let's focus here. What is the probability of rolling a 2? Well, there's only one 2, as we know. So that is 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A number cube always has 6 sides unless they tell you otherwise. What's the probability of rolling an even? 2, 4, 6. That's how many numbers? That's 3 numbers out of 6. We got to reduce. 3 out of 6 is 1/2. What is the probability of rolling a number less than 5? Ooh, I like this one. Less than 5. So that's 4, 3, 2, 1. It can't be 5 because 5 is 5. It's got to be less than 5. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Whoa. Don't want that. Yikes. That is 4 out of 6 numbers. We got to reduce. Let's divide those by 2. That would be 2/3. Rolling an odd. What is the probability of rolling an odd? We've got 1, 3, and 5. That's just 3 out of 6, which we all need to remember is just 1/2. What is the probability of rolling a number greater than or equal to 3? Woo, those inequalities, you remember them? So greater than 3 would be 4, 5, 6, or equal to 3 is 3. So how many numbers is that? That is 4 out of 6. So I'm going to divide those each by 2. That's 2/3. And last but not least, rolling is 0. There is none. Probability is just 0 out of 6. Or you can just write there is no chance. It's a probability of 0. Okay, so quick recap. We looked at a number cube. We're going to come back to the deck of cards. We looked at a bag of marbles. And then we looked at spinners. The assignment you're going to see is going to include those. Next video coming is on the deck of cards. Woo! Probability, love it!